Kraken. I'm Wes Potts, and today Alex is actually out on a different mission. He is taking a vacation, so I have a co-host that's a guest co-host. Introduce yourself, guest co-host.
I am Ben Frisch, friend of Wes.
And also podcaster for another podcast.
Yep.
Today we actually have a guest as well because, well, while Alex is away, I'm deciding to make this the biggest episode that I possibly could while he's gone because why not? I have my other co-host with me today.
Hi, this is Nate Bledsoe from Haunting Wes and Nate. And I just say, like, a little bit offended I wasn't asked to be your guest co-host.
We're sharing this.
Well, I don't care. I was approached to be the guest, and you're the, and it's whatever, it's fine.
Listen, okay.
You're already a guest host on another podcast.
I'm not a guest host. I am a co-host.
I was like, don't get greedy, Nate. That's the thing that I'm working with. Okay, like, don't get fucking greedy.
Yeah, you're the guest host on a podcast
called
What's Haunting Wes.
No, it's called Waking the Kraken.
Yeah, this is.
How do you not know what show you were hosting?
Do you see?
Is this the relationship one?
No, this is.
No, this.
All right, so brief introductions. That was
Shipping Pots.
Chippin' Pots.
Yeah, it's your relationship podcast that only you host.
Oh, that's a genius idea. Now I gotta find a chip.
But it's only about, like, your relationship with ships. That's why it's shipping.
Oh, ship. I thought you said the guy, like, I thought it was like a fish and chip situation.
No. So it's shipping pots. It's like your relationship with ships that you just talk about your love of boats.
Okay, so I'm gonna start this off with a story. I told you guys that I had something interesting happen to me today, and I'm gonna talk about it. So Ben also works with me. We all know that I work at a tobacco shop. Yeah. Well, Nate apparently doesn't, but Nate also worked at said tobacco shop.
What?
But I had a guy come in today, and how do I start this? Okay, no. Okay, so he came in and to set this seat up, I just helped someone else, and he walks in wearing a very large sweater and what looks like a safety coat, very giant glasses that are like Coke bottles at the end of it, and he proceeds to like ask me questions like every customer does, like normally like they'll be like, hey, tell me about this, but he starts to ask me questions about literally everything in the shop. Like he went from like shisha to pipes and stuff like that. And that wasn't weird until he started asking me, like, so we're talking about the pipes, and he goes, what kind of pipe tobacco would a cowboy smoke? And I didn't think much of it. I was like, well, he said, what kind of tobacco do the Cowboys smoke? Talking about just people. No, not the Dallas Cowboys, just people as cowboys. And so then we go in and we look at the cigars, and he asked me what cigar I think a cowboy would smoke. And I'm starting to think, there's something wrong with this guy, right? Like, he keeps asking me what particular things this particular job would. And I'm like, I don't want to have to think about what every job someone would smoke. That'd be like you being like, hey, just so you know, like, I'm really interested in these cigarettes. What do you think an astronaut would smoke? And I know that I can lie to them, but, like, who the fuck comes in? Like, what the fuck was this guy? Is he like a 5-year-old? He's like, also, what do you think a train conductor would smoke? And maybe a dinosaur.
Well,
like...
all I was going to say is you have to understand, like, today, along with, like, our shamefully cold, like, snowstorm that we got, we also traveled back to, like, the 1800s. So really, they weren't Coke bottle glasses so much as, like, early, like, scene glasses. He's a cowboy. He was just like, well, I want to smoke this cigar.
That guy did not look like a cowboy.
Okay, well,
I was thinking he sounded like a steampunk kind of guy.
He's also not that.
But can you have, like, steampunk cowboys?
He was just a fucking idiot.
Because...
Is that not Wild Wild West?
Yeah, but, like, that was bad. Like, Wild Wild West is bad. Like, it's not good.
The soundtrack was kind of cool.
Oh, the soundtrack was by far the best part of that.
That's your opinion.
No, yes, but also you're wrong.
Are you trying to tell me that Doc Lovelace is not a cool villain? He's a giant he's like a half man with a spider body.
Yeah, but okay, first of all, where does he shit? Like, where does the poop go?
Probably in a mechanical butt.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the problem is that, like, he's a half man. He's a half man above the hip, which means, like, there's a lot of stuff missing. Are we supposed to...
You're talking about a penis.
You're talking about how he doesn't have a pecker.
Like, large and small.
Are you saying that he's not a man at all anymore? What if he just, like, made his... It's a steampunk movie.
Are you saying that he made... Are you saying that he made a steampunk penis?
He made a goddamn mechanical spider.
Right,
sure
but then, like, the question...
How his intestines work.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so, but then, like, that begs the question, like, Like, is that just what the chair is? Like, he just, like, locks in and it's got all his intestines and, like, part of his liver and stomach and gallbladder, and then, like, there's, like, a dick attachment to the front.
Okay, Nate, you've gone too far with this. Okay, like...
Ben was the one who broached the dick concept. I was just, like, I was fleshing it out.
Sure, yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
I'm sorry.
But, I mean, like, you know...
While I'm on this podcast, I feel like...
While I'm on here, let's just talk about dicks.
It's gonna pop up a lot.
Talking dicks?
I'm not gonna call this episode Dicks.
I don't want you to. I would honestly prefer if you didn't.
So yeah, no, I mean like so that's my new thing is anytime someone comes in I'm gonna be like,
are you gonna ask them what their profession is?
do you think that this would be what a cowboy would smoke?
I think you should like straight
I was really hoping he wasn't gonna get to the Dohas because I feel like that one would be really hard because he'd be like what kind of Doha do you think a cowboy would smoke? And I'm like, fuck all, none of them. I don't think so. Like, I don't think any of them would smoke any of it. Like, we have terms at the Albatross, like shisha billy, like the rednecks that come in that would say, like, I think that we should bomb everyone in the Middle East. I'm going to smoke this Middle Eastern pipe, like, and stuff like that. So those are shisha billies. And, like, it's easy for cigars because you can think Clint Eastwood. Cigarettes, I reckon, are the same way. Pipes, because they had that. But this kid just kept pushing my buttons. Like the other thing, yeah, I don't know, because like basically by the time that he asked his stupid 18. Fucking question, I said, "Hey, can I see your ID?" And then he's like, "Oh no, I think I left it on the bus. Do you think that they'll have it?" And I was like, "Dude, that's a bus." I was like, it goes around town. I don't. I told him I was like, maybe go to the bus depot and see if they dropped it off. I don't know. Like, and then he just left the fucking store, and I never heard from this dumbass again. Like,
I mean, I was gonna say if he had his ID and everything, you should just like tossed him a pack of Avantis and been like, "Here, kid, fuck off."
I mean, like, I get that there's things I can do, but I think. Who the fuck asked if a cowboy would... And he told me, he's like, I've been really into cowboys lately. And it was just in the sense that a moron would say it. Not in the sense of, like, being sincere or, like, having an affinity. I told Chloe tonight when I was at dinner, I was just like, if he would have been like, yeah, I'm really into Clint Eastwood or something like that, that could have specified it. But just a general fucking cowboy, I just didn't get it.
Well, I mean, like, this is... I mean, I'm just spitballing here, but like maybe it's like a big scenario, and he was just like maybe he was just like a 3-year-old kid super loves playing Indians, and cowboys and Indians, and he's just like all of a sudden became like a steampunk kid like through some wish or some internet bullshit. I don't quite know. And then he's just like, well, what kind of tobacco would a cowboy smoke? And then I'm actually kind of curious it was me.
So either...
okay, like, I want to know what, like...
So either he's an idiot...
Right.
Or he's an asshole.
It sounds like idiot.
Idiot is the one that I'm going with, because I talked to the kid.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so all of these, like, metaphorical situations, like, well, what if... You didn't fucking talk to him. He sounded like a dipshit.
Yeah, I think...
Okay, but, like, what kind of tobacco, like, what kind of cigar, like, I'm sorry...
Kentucky Cheroos.
It's true, but allow me to phrase this in the correct way. What kind of cigar would a cowboy smoke?
But I did come up with the idea. I'm like, what if I just started asking people, like, just random ones? I'm like, hey, do you think you could tell me, like, what would, like, a paramedic smoke? Like, just, like, something stupid off the cuff like that. Like, what would a paramedic smoke?
I like this idea of, like, every job...
Every position has something different they smoke.
Well, but it's just, like, they have something that they, like...
You're like, oh, he's a doctor, but he doesn't seem like it. Look what he's smoking.
Yeah, I mean, but, like, extrapolate that out. It's just like, okay, so, like, well, you're an astrophysicist. What kind of shoes do you wear?
Anyway, this topic has gone on far longer than it needed to be.
I know.
I was just incredibly pissed off today by some
That's what happens
dumbass.
when you bring up Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean,
Cowboys are very personal.
I'm really into Cowboys right now.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, Ben, was that you as being a fucking...
That was me.
Alright, Ben, you're a
Someone
co-host.
related to me.
this is America. We only do Cowboys.
Anyway, Ben, what's going on with you, man? You got any interesting things to talk about or anything like that?
I live in a richer neighborhood. It's Pickwick and Springfield.
Brag.
Sure.
So that's where all like the really cool professors live, and like they all get together and smoke weed and hang out and
Right.
do all that kind of cool stuff. And
We
they're
get
just
it. We have
rich
friends.
rich old hipsters. And we live in the shittiest house on that street. It's the one that someone my age can afford.
Right.
You know, of course I'm gonna brag. I live on Pickwick, damn it. So, the problem with rich neighborhoods is they have rich children in them, and these rich teenagers have been vandalizing our house. They've been vandalizing.
Have they been throwing
our
eggs at
cars. It started with eggs in the summer.
Right.
Oh, so they went right with eggs. Like,
They went
wow.
straight to eggs.
Oh man, these are some hooligans.
So, and then, August, they smeared shit over my window
Like
in my
literal
car.
shit?
Like literal shit. Like like blacked out my driver's side window. And like I saw, I was like, oh, that's pretty funny. All right. Just washed it off.
You
No
were
big deal.
literally the only person to go, you know what? I'm kind of pissed off, but those kids get cooped for using fecal matter.
Like,
Sorry.
I mean,
When it's funny, it's funny.
yeah, but also they are escalating. You're gonna wake up with them just like staring at you while you sleep.
No, they've already gone too far. They've shot. They shot out Colin's window with a BB gun.
Oh yeah, this happened last week.
Yeah, and it's riddled the side of my car with BBs last night, and it's a real pain in my ass. You know why? Because they're killing my wallet. Almost like, you want to psychologically damage the people you're vandalizing.
Right.
Not
Yeah,
make
but
them
you only do that if
shell
you-
out a shit ton of
But
money.
that's what you do if you're poor. If you're rich, you just like point out how you can just like have.
Yeah,
Oh, so we got the
No,
poorhouse,
maybe-
so
yeah.
they need to make us even poor.
No, that's it. They're trying to like drive you out of the neighborhood because you're the poor people.
Yeah,
Damn, now that we're talking about it.
it does make a lot of sense. You're just like,
Now that we're brainstorming out
they're,
loud.
Like, they're,
I just renewed the lease so they can suck my dick.
right.
I'm gonna be there for one more year.
Well,
Okay, so here's what you do. You take the money that you would be investing in fixing everything, and you buy a ghillie suit. And one night you get a bunch of Red Bulls and maybe a bottle of whiskey.
They're guerrilla warriors.
you
I
get-
never know when they're gonna
Stab.
strike.
So start sleeping in a tent outside. Eventually they'll come for you like Bigfoot, and then attack them.
Okay. I mean, it's a lot of time and effort.
I mean, yeah, but you think of all the fun Home Alone style traps you could set up.
okay.
Or-
how do I bring justice down on teenagers?
Okay, so
what I'm
the other
saying?
thing you can do
This
is
is what you do. Like tell the cops and their parents.
Yeah.
yeah,
But
or
they're-
blackmail them.
No, tell the cops.
That
and-
sounds better.
Yeah, but no,
Like-
go grumpy old man style this. Just like take photos and be like, listen, I got photos of your kids. Hand them to the police. Guess what? Boned. And then you're just
That's
like,
too good for them. Their parents will just get them out.
who the fuck cares? Just be a grumpy old man.
Or
You could egg their houses.
I got an idea. So, here's how you do your guerrilla warfare on children. Also, I don't recommend this for any of our listeners doing guerrilla warfare on children, but since Ben brought it up, this is a hypothetical that
Yeah.
you can maybe use.
Hypothetically.
But hypothetically, if you're going to go to war with children, get one of those like deer stand cameras and then make sure it takes pictures of them. That way you know where they are. And then just start take their picture, then find them on Facebook, steal a couple of their really good photos, and then start posting their pictures around, like on flyers in the neighborhood, and be like, for a secret, call this person. And then just start finding out their dirty secrets from some kid that fucking hates them in high school, and then just start telling their secrets over the phone anonymously to all of these other high schoolers. And eventually, you'll destroy their life, and then, like, when you're walking down the street and you see them, just go, hey man, I heard this about you. What's up with that? And then they'll be like, how does this guy who is an adult know this secret that I have?
It's psychological murder.
It's psychological warfare.
It's straight up murder. Go to the cops.
Yeah.
Tell their parents.
Yeah,
Don't you-
Their parents don't give a fuck.
I know, that's the best part. Their parents do not care about them, so any consequences these kids have, they will face it alone because their parents straight up do not care.
Their parents will just shell out money. I went to private school.
I went to private school too. Like, every parent, like, if you got into any sort of trouble, like, they would just be like, here's money for a lawyer.
Yeah, don't tell my friends.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I just think you should straight up...
So ruin their lives.
Yeah. It's just different from...
Through social media.
You know?
I guess so, but I'm just like, be like an angry, crotchety old man.
Or harken back to, like, 5 years in the future and then destroy their reputation.
See, that sounds good.
Yeah.
It needs to be a long...
It's the long burn. It's the long con.
I mean, either that or you could just smear your own shit on there one more.
Or long story short...
It's funny for a teenager.
Long story short, we could just get famous and then they'll regret it. But they probably won't.
Yeah.
But then I'll feel better because I'll be rich. So...
Fair point.
All right, so we've got angry that people ask what cowboys would smoke. We've got psychological warfare against kids. Nate, you're our guest. Let's see what's good with you. What you got, huh?
Well,
you came in saying you were rather angry.
Oh yeah, but just about how obnoxiously cold it is outside. I'm really not that angry. I mean, I'm a little perturbed because I thought this was about Greek myths while we drank spiced rum. When you hear Waking the Kraken, you're just like, oh, maybe we're going to talk.
No, it's false advertisement.
Yeah, so I brushed up on my Greek mythology.
Do you want to talk about it?
I do not.
Tell me about Perseus.
Well, Harry Hamlin played him the best.
Right.
Because that rope... Did you just...
That just what?
Was that a head shake? It's like, no, I preferred Sam Worthington.
no, it was more of a, I'm drinking a beer right now, I was about to burp in your mouth, but then I politely kind of went,
I mean...
I went to the side, so it didn't hit you.
I mean, I wish that you, you know that I love it when you burp in my mouth, so I'm sad that you didn't.
That's actually true. Nate does love it when you burp in his mouth.
But only Ben.
That's what you're into?
But only when you do it, though.
That's a little nugget that you won't hear on What's Haunting Wes and Nate.
We discussed this. I'm just like, Ben, anytime you have to burp, find me right in my mouth. No, it's good. I spent the day watching season 2 and 3 of Luther, so my day's been pretty good, other than being just shamefully cold. I mean, that's really it. It's just like, it's cold, it's snowy, there's some ice around. Driving here was a pain in the ass, but Luther was great, so I didn't care.
Yeah, you like it?
Oh yeah, I'd already watched it before, and I'm rewatching it so I can finish season 4, or series 4, because it's the UK and it's not season, it's series.
Yeah.
It's good. I like it. It's great. Idris Elba, an amazing actor.
Hope it's better than Sherlock.
Oh man, it's so better than Sherlock.
I hate that show.
Yeah,
just so you know.
Yeah.
One of the cringiest things I've ever seen in a TV show is when he's trying to figure out the password on the phone, and it's just Sherlocked. That's the cringiest thing I've ever seen.
Hi, welcome.
I don't know. I mean, this is ingenious. If your name was Sherlock, it's a surefire way to make sure you realize what it is. Ooh.
Welcome to BBC Sherlock, where it's 40 minutes of just figuring out Sherlock puns. Shameful.
So, have you guys ever been into? House music or dance music from Europe?
No.
So Euro house?
Sure.
Because
when I was in high school, I made a techno song.
Right.
Because I was like, it's all kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
And I loved it. Basically I was just like, I wonder if I can make a song about nothing. And so I asked my friend to pick a theme, and he picked shapes. And if I can get someone to do a into the microphone, I'll share this song with you.
So are we talking like a Darude, like...
Just your typical...
We're not getting weird with it?
No. It's a very straightforward, it's a very short song. I just think that it's beautiful because it's a song about shapes.
Yeah. Let's do it. Are you going to do it?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I have the...
You know the rhythm?
I mean, I do.
You know, Ben's a musician. We should just let him take it over.
I was gonna say, Ben, I'll let you do
so
that.
You just want
Yeah.
Oh, I can't do it that long.
No, you gotta keep it. The song's not that short.
I know, but it's
like
we'll just tap
go
it
back and forth.
Yeah, like
there we go.
I'll grab your knee.
Okay.
I was just trying to get into it first so I can know. Okay, ready?
Grab the
Circle, square, star, yeah. Circle, square, star, yeah. Listen to my voice, I will make you love circles. Circles, not squares, baby. Circles, not squares. Hot. So yeah, that was my song that I came up with because I was in German class, and obviously I spent no time at all studying German. Basically what I did in German class most of the time was I would listen to German house music, and then I would take everything that I like, all my homework that I ever did was I would just make up stories in German. I would just like basically take the book home with me, like the little like dictionary, and I would write a story out in English and then translate my own story into German and hand it in. I wrote a whole story about a vampire hunter one time in that class.
I mean, I really liked it. It reminded me that like we probably should wrap this podcast up so we can go down to the dance room later so we can listen to Kraftwerk.
I think they just finished their tour.
So, yeah, but they're finishing up right now, so like...
Oh, okay.
Like,
yeah,
go to the dance room.
I don't want to do that.
Well, fine. So it's like step on everything.
Yeah,
Chords everywhere.
All right, question for our guest.
Uh-oh.
I ask this to every guest that I have on this show, and I'm going to ask you.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Do you, short answer, obviously, do you or do you not think that dolphins have an agenda?
Yeah.
And why?
Have you seen them?
Let's talk for our listeners that haven't seen dolphins.
Okay. First of all, they've got a slippy, slidey shape. They look like sharks, but not, with like a pointy nose. Also, they have empathy and are most often found raping each other and like humans.
That's a stereotype, okay? Not all, like, some dolphins rape, not all dolphins rape, probably.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're a dolphin apologist.
No, I just like to think that not all dolphins are the same.
Well, I'm just saying you're a dolphin apologist.
Well, then, no, you're just making you're using stereotypes. Just because a couple dolphins have been known to rape things.
You can do, like, this is, like, it happens all the time. But yeah, they have an agenda. They probably want to replace, I don't know, people on land.
All right, question for my co-host.
Yes.
If you could wake up any morning as a celebrity and for one day be that celebrity, what celebrity would you be and why?
Oh, shit. Oh, that's a good one. Musician seems too easy.
You should just say yourself.
I'm not a celebrity. I wish I was.
You could just... you could say, like, me 15 years from now.
God, I think maybe, like, Michael Cera.
You don't want to wake up as Michael Cera?
Maybe be a good one. Because I could have one solid day to kind of man him up in people's eyes. You know
so
what I mean?
you would take Michael Cera and try to make him a badass.
Yeah, make basically all the movies he plays.
It's just like that you just spend that entire day just like in the gym, like getting his swole on.
No, man.
And then right before your time's up, like after you've been in the gym all day, you got like some like ripped guns. You just go find someone, and just start being like this.
Okay, so starting schedule. What would the day be? Starting out, wake up in the morning, find out you're Michael Cera. Well, then what?
Michael Cera, probably call up Jonah Hill and just kick his ass.
First and foremost, beat Jonah Hill to death.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just within an inch of his life. And then spending the rest of the day, you know, going through like police booking and whatnot. Hopefully they can get me and like.
Ben, I'm gonna let you in on something. First and foremost, Jonah Hill will probably be putting something onto you now. don't ever go around him. And second, you could just do that as yourself.
Yeah, I know, but it's funny if it's Michael Cera. Nobody knows who I am yet.
That's true. You'd just
Maybe
be the guy
someday.
that beat the shit out of Jonah Hill.
Maybe someday we'll come back to this, and I will be.
I'm gonna tell Jonah Hill if ever I meet him before you, be like, "Hey, watch out for this dude.
The problem is, there's like
He has a Dungeons and Dragons podcast. He loves the shit out of Star Wars, and he's coming for you because I asked him like 5 years ago.
Well, there's a website where you can see what Jonah Hill's body status is right now.
Yeah,
And I think the last time I looked at it, it said it was swole. He was swole.
Gotcha.
Because there's just a website with a picture of him, like the most recent picture of him that's been released, showing what his body type is because he fluctuates just crazy. I need to find him at his biggest.
and I know the listeners have already heard what mine was, but mine was I would wake up as Joaquin Phoenix because I probably would wake up and realize I was Joaquin Phoenix and then not know what to do. But anything that I possibly decided to do that day as Joaquin Phoenix would be weird enough that people would just think it was normally Joaquin Phoenix. They'd be like, "Oh, I wonder why he showed up at this thing," and I'd be like, "Oh, it's Joaquin Phoenix. That makes sense."
Yeah.
Nate, who would you wake up as and why? And what would you do?
Well, man, that's a tough one. I guess, man, probably, I don't know, like,
Dolph Lundgren.
no, I was gonna say Dame Judi Dench.
Why? Actually, no, I don't need to know why. Just tell me what you do.
Yeah, why the hell not? It's Judi Dench. What the fuck is wrong with you? What would I do?
Yeah.
Well,
Look at your boobs.
no, probably, I don't know, like, go see nature, I don't know, like,
You're telling me you'd be a celebrity for one fucking day and go hang out with yourself like you could already do in nature wherever.
yeah, but I'd be Judi Dench. I could, like, go and, like, get a cup of coffee, and people be like, holy shit, that's Judi Dench, and then I'd be like, yeah, what's up, and then just, like, take a bunch of
Yeah,
pictures.
look across the street. Michael Cera's beating the shit out of Jonah
Yeah,
Hill, and then
yeah,
you
I
can go
could just,
back
like-
to doing whatever you're
I
doing.
could
And then there's Joaquin Phoenix just wearing
here's
a
the thing, here's the
bag.
thing. Why would I want to do anything when I could just, like, wander around and abuse the privilege of Judi Dench?
Why would I want to do anything when I could just do anything as Judi Dench?
Exactly. Like, why would I have a specific agenda when I could just, like, leave my house and just go do a thing?
Yeah, sure. Okay, that sounds like a great idea.
Like, I could, like, literally, I could just do anything. I could abuse, like, I could get into places for free. I could not have to pay for, like, meals or coffees or, like, shit because I'm like, holy shit, that's Judi Dench. Like, yeah.
So,
So just trade on her celebrity for a day. It's not a bad idea.
It's really not.
No, like,
I think mine is just my
yours
my
is-
vendetta against Jonah Hill. The closest I can get to
I
him
really
is through
think
a
that-
smaller man.
I really think that, like, you just don't like Jonah Hill and you feel like Michael Cera.
I'm probably wrong on that. He's like the closest link. He's the.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
They were in a movie together.
Yeah, they were.
That's all.
wait, why don't you just want to wake up as Channing?
I assume they're
That's your
friends.
justification.
No, I feel
they were in a movie.
I feel like if we're gonna try to if we're gonna do a hypothetical situation of beating up Jonah Hill as possessing another celebrity, don't you think Channing Tatum would be the easiest? He's been in 2 movies with Jonah Hill.
Oh yeah, maybe, but I don't.
I don't want to wake up as Channing Tatum.
do you know-
I don't want girls to just be like, "Oh my God, look
Do you
at me!
know-
He's so gorgeous.
Do you know-
Look how pretty he is." He's like, "I want to look like a fucking squeeb."
Yeah. Do you not want to ruin the Jump Street franchise because you're just so in love and you can't wait for the crossover with Men in Black? Which is real.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
You're lying.
I wish I was.
You son of a bitch.
Do you want me to, like, I can pull...
I don't want to see it. We'll
No,
look at it after.
like, let's keep...
If it's true,
Let's keep talking because
if it's true,
I want all
God
of us...
damn it. I would. Maybe I just want to come back as Kevin Bacon, and I try to band dance in some town. I try to kill
I
it.
just thought you said Kevin James, and I was like, this is gonna get weird.
Oh, if you came back as Paul Blart Mall Cop,
Yeah.
that might be fun. Like,
That'd
if you were just like, if you just woke up as him and then like proceeded to go be a mall cop, like you just filled out the whole application, and it's like, what would qualify you as this job? You're like, I made a movie about it.
I'm sorry, you're right. It's dead. It died.
It died?
It died.
Good. I'm glad.
It was apparently too complicated to include aliens with, like, people who are playing versions only, like, 5 years younger than themselves.
They probably just couldn't keep Ice Cube.
No, I bet they tried to get Will Smith and he was too busy making the movie Bright.
Oh, the movie's fucking awesome. It's so silly.
It's terrible.
I thoroughly
the
enjoyed
silliest
it.
movie
I
I've ever seen.
Like, here's the way that I looked at it is, when me and Alex watched it, it was, you had to watch it in a way of going, oh, look, I'm just watching another movie that was released by Will Smith in the 90s. Like, they just forgot to release it, and it got released, and then it's fucking great. It's just like Bad Boys.
No. You can go... No, it isn't.
No, okay, here's the deal. No, here's the deal. Nate, if you dare fucking try to say that a Michael Bay movie is good on my podcast, I'm going to slap you on air.
I'm going to say it's better than Bright.
Nope. Nothing is good about Michael Bay.
Playing D&D
And there we go.
Why did you
fucking asshole?
and not let me just clap my hands as though like I...
Why do you ruin it for the people? They're the fans. Good. There we go. You think about what you did. It's just like the other day when Ben told me he watched The Rock.
I love The Rock.
Shut up or I'll slap you too. If there's one tangent to make me absolutely upset other than Ancient Aliens, is goddamn Michael Bay.
But The Rock.
Fuck you.
The end of that movie, Nick Cage is waving the shit out of those fucking,
Flags?
No, the flares.
Flares, sorry.
And they're about to drop a missile on fucking... God, I don't even remember that movie. I saw it last week. What happened in that movie?
Who the fuck cares?
A lot of cool explosions, which made it really great
Yeah,
for people
dude.
like me. When it's
tell you,
hard to follow what people say in movies.
The first Bad Boys was originally supposed to be like...
It'd be fun.
All right, now that we're done talking about Michael Bay, let's keep going. I actually did stop that recording.
Yeah, and you almost like ruined everything.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
Everything's
no,
great.
I mean,
and
it was an hour-long conversation. I get why you
It
stopped.
wasn't an hour long. Like we went on for maybe
27 minutes.
27 minutes by the time we got to Transformers 3.
No, we didn't even tell. We just stuck with The Rock and got.
You did talk about The Rock for a long time.
Well, no, like again, like it was just Bad Boys and The Rock for like maybe 3 minutes,
That's
and
okay.
then like we cracked a joke, and now we're here.
We don't talk about Michael Bay.
Ben, shut up.
I don't even ever want to hear his name. He's the worst. He is worse than Burger King.
We don't talk about MB.
You can talk about it all you want.
Want to talk about like
on
Mark
What's Haunting Wes and Nate.
or some shit.
Yeah, let's talk about Nymphomaniac or my favorite, Antichrist.
Oh, I was like,
Okay, I have only seen.
let's talk about Lars von Trier, and then let's talk about Vincent Gallo for no reason.
Dude, have you ever seen, like, the weirdest part of Antichrist? Like, when I went and saw it, I went to a theater that does an intermission, like, when the Mox used to do intermission.
Oh, word?
And, like, it literally, the last scene before the intermission when I went and saw Antichrist was a fox eating his own stomach out, and then it just, like, said something, and it's like, oh, wait, hey, look, it's intermission. You want to go get some popcorn? Like...
That happened with Last King of Scotland at the Moxie. I saw that, and
Ooh,
I can't one of because they cut it with they did intermission in like the last, I want to say maybe like 35-40 minutes because it's not terribly long.
Right.
But one of the scenes somewhere in that time frame where there's just like a lot of like violence and gore and dismemberment, they're just like, and intermission. I was on a date. I wasn't expecting any of what had just been on the screen.
I was expecting a movie about Scotland and not Uganda.
No. I knew the overall like theme of what we were gonna get. I just wasn't expecting it to be like so graphic and violent, and neither was she. And
so did we hear today about how the lead singer of the Cranberries died?
Yeah, I have theories, but
About drugs?
Drugs. So I love the Cranberries.
The Cranberries.
I love the
Cranberries.
I love Crank, but we're not talking about Crank right now. Neither the movie nor that kick-ass drug. And that drug is kick-ass. No, I love the Cranberries. I felt bad thinking this, like knowing her history of like mental health.
You think she Ian Curtis'd herself?
I think it may have been an accidental overdose if it is drugs, but I think that it probably had some underlying issues with suicide, because she has been she has had anger management issues. She was diagnosed as bipolar, and it's sad to think that on some level, be like, well, maybe this happened because you feel like that initial guilt of like, oh, I shouldn't think that, but as someone who's like struggled with thoughts of suicide and their mental health stuff, I can tell you that like. There's also like that point of just like, well, if she chose to do this, she probably didn't want. It probably wasn't the choice that she wanted, but like she is still loved and she's free from her pain,
Okay. Yeah, we get it. You've already made the entire audience cry.
Sorry. But I don't. But at the same time, it could have just happened by accident.
On that note, let's do some wrap-ups. Ben?
Wrap it up.
Ben, you have a new podcast coming out. Do you want to talk about that a little bit, or you just want to kind of leave it for everyone else?
No, it's the Bad Form podcast. We're doing a Star Wars RPG right now. We're going to start posting once we have 10 episodes, and we have 8 right now. Here in a little bit, I'm sure I'll be back on the show eventually.
Yeah.
And I can
talk more extensively about it.
By then, the website will be up.
Nice.
So we're about ready to start posting.
Well, yeah, make sure you catch that. What's it called again?
Bad Form Podcast.
Bad Form Podcast. So, and Nate, you have exciting news. You're on a podcast as well.
I mean, it's not like a big deal or anything.
Yeah,
it's not like it's. Oh man,
you're pitching this podcast great. You're making everyone want to fucking listen to it. You've said all the most wonderful things about it. Everyone's like, oh my god, I want to listen to that. Oh, it's not very great. It sounds wonderful. Like, okay, so what's your podcast about? You fucking dick.
Well, okay, like we covered it at the top, and like we're gonna book in this together. No, obviously, like it's a lot of fun. It's What's Haunting Wes and Nate. I do this with Wes. It's something that we've done off and on for a long time.
Yeah, we started off in the Twitter sphere.
Yeah, we started off in the Twitter sphere, just getting drunk on my couch.
And drunkenly tweeting about what was happening in real time.
Exactly. Found out that 125 tweets in like a 2-hour period gets you suspended from Twitter. And then we just we found that out, and then we just like got drunk and just like made our friends listen to it. But yeah, no, like I do that with Wes, where we lovingly, I like to say like we lovingly deconstruct episodes, both with their paranormal subject, but also like
we make commentary on how poorly acted it is.
And commentary on like how it's shot, how it was cast, like the special effects works, like everything about it. We'll make jokes about that. In fact, last night we were working on some bonus content, potential bonus content, and I just kept complaining. My problem is that I'm upset with how poorly it's shot. That is that is my main complaint, that this is just done bad.
Since now I'm an official listener of the podcast, I listen to it without the visual aid, and you guys are still fucking funny.
Nice.
And it's still great.
In fact,
it's also been listened to in like 24 different countries now.
In fact, we do encourage people to like watch the episodes with us. I know sometimes people can't, and so they want to listen to it and they also want to watch it. Listen and watch it. Do that. That's fun. That'll be the most fun. But if you can't,
I already know you boners, so
I was just like, I love you, sweet pea. I'm taking up so much time right now.
You are. You just don't shut the shit up. I'm just kidding. No, this is good because this is actually a hyper violent manner of What's Haunting Wes and Nate. Normally I'm pretty cool with Nate, but tonight I've just been.
Yeah, you've been reeling in because I've been, like I said, I've been by myself all day. I'm just amped to see people. It's towards the end. I've got to go to bed soon, so I can get up, fuck up early, and deal with all this shitty snow, so I drive into work.
Oh yeah, it's been terrible.
But like, listen, like if you can't watch it directly, listen to it, and then like listen and watch. There's multiple different ways, and you just have fun with it. Like we just want you to have fun, cause we are.
And I'm gonna, if this episode gets released by the time that like Ben gets a Facebook up or anything like that, I'm gonna put links to both your podcast and What's Haunting Wes and Nate up there. That way people can find you and hopefully steal all my thunder, and then I have to close down Waking the Kraken. No, I'm just kidding. Please keep listening to Waking the Kraken. I really enjoy doing this.
I honestly thought about seeding all of my What's Haunting Wes and Nate time because I was like fascinated with what you were talking about. I was like, fuck what I do. Like, no, go on.
No, I am fascinated in this, and yeah.
And I want to say that I'm eventually going to have you on.
Right, me.
And so anybody who tunes into what I'm getting ready to put out will eventually hear you on it.
Good. Hopefully you heard it first, all the Wes fans.
And then
and you're just like, Wes, I'm gonna have you on, Nate.
Wes and I have been talking about this.
But anyway, thank you for joining us on Waking the Kraken. Thank you, our special guest Nate. Thank you, my co-host Ben. Give it up for Ben.
Hey!
Give it up for Nate.
Oh.
And I'm gonna try to see if Alex will actually put in more high fives, so it sounds like we have a live studio audience. See you guys later. I'm Wes Potts. Alex Kahneman will be back next week.
Bye.